first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated actress you know from her work in the critically acclaimed shows Orange is the New Black and Russian Doll. She executive produces and stars in the Peacock series Poker Face. New episodes stream Thursdays. Let's take a look.
We were political prisoners.
Oh,
No whatsoever.
how'd you get into that?
I was in college. It was a turbulent time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the 60s.
Did you hear that?
70s,
Oh,
bitch.
right. You know, I was gonna say the 90s because of all the flannel.
You'd have been better off going there.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Natasha Lyonne. Welcome back, Natasha. I'm so happy you're here.
I know I am happy to be here.
It's very lovely to have you here for a show that is just wonderful as well. We had the show's, one of the show's creators, obviously Rian Johnson, who wrote and directed it. And he's wonderful. And we were talking about, this is sort of a throwback to those sort of Columbo-style shows.
Yeah.
You play someone who can tell when people are lying, which is very good casting, because of all my friends, I feel like you have the best bullshit detector.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was a lie, Seth. It's a weird...
But you gotta think you have a good bullshit detector.
Well, as a child, you know, I ran a small gang, the Bugsy Malone gang.
How old when you ran your first
You guys
gang?
know them, I guess. We were notorious. I was about 7 to 10. It's all a blur back then. And yeah, so as a young pickpocket, it was, I guess, just a skill you learned out in the streets.
Yeah.
You had to be streetwise,
Yeah.
you see? That's what it was like back then. But you know, the city, it's always changing. Gentrification.
Good shift into gentrification.
I wanted to seem like I was from modern times. Yes.
Talking about your street urchin gang that was picking pockets.
I didn't want to seem too old-timey.
Yeah. Oh, nobody
No.
ever thinks you seem too old-timey.
I just don't want it to be alienating. I'm going to say things now like gaslighting.
Oh,
just to
good. Yeah, good. Bring it modern.
Yes.
It's gaslighting. I know people say in
Yeah.
modern time, but I don't think of that as a modern term since it
it's
came
a famous,
from a 50s movie.
Yeah, big, famous, yes. That's the reason I know the word. Yes.
That is the embarrassing thing when people start using something in social media and you're like, from the 1950s film. And they're like, you're an old man.
Yeah, they don't like that.
You,
keep it young, Seth, okay?
keep it young.
I asked you for one thing here tonight.
Keep it young.
Yeah, I do everything I do for the tweens. Yeah.
Eyes on Tweens. That's
Eyes on Tweens.
You have a new show that's on
my
PBS.
On PBS. It's a Ken Burns created.
Oh,
it.
that's great.
It's his first foray into fiction.
Oh, wow.
It's exciting.
Now, you don't care for, because I don't consider what we're doing right now sort of classic small talk. You are not a small talk aficionado.
Don't believe in it.
You don't believe in it?
No, I would say I aggressively don't like it. I think it's damaging to society as a whole.
And do you feel this way about receiving it as far as also for asking it?
Yeah, I don't like it in any other directions.
Okay.
And it's like John Lennon says, just give me some truth. And I've come here tonight to let you know those are my interests. To become, I want to age into a sort of a Bob Dylan type figure and say things like that. But I think it's really dangerous because if you say to somebody, how are you? Their only option is to lie aggressively, right? Like society says you're supposed to say, oh, I'm good and keep it moving, but you're not good, are you? No. I mean, sometimes, rarely, but you should say something more like, you know, 50-50. And then the other person could respond with like, me, it's a great day, 70-30. And on a human condition level, I think we'd all be well served. It would be more honest, we'd keep it moving. We could eliminate how was your weekend entirely.
Yeah.
So you agree? Yeah.
Now, do you think, can I make an argument for, how is your weekend, an argument for it being a thing you say when I walk into an office with one of my coworkers, a thing to say just so I don't immediately start talking and gossiping.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like an opener just before we actually get into the nitty-gritty.
Sure. listen, society functions in some ways. Seth.
Yeah.
For example, traffic lights, they're helpful. And that's what I'm sort of hearing from you in this moment is a traffic light.
Yeah,
sort of.
I want a little bit of signaling.
Yes, but might I propose the idea of a third thing? In other words, arguably, it doesn't have to be a gossip at all. Maybe it would just be a third thing, sort of a topic, you know, like, oh, great microphone. You'd talk about the microphone for a while, and then you'd move on to the pencil and walk away.
So
you know what I mean?
anything not to ask about how you're doing or your weekend,
You know,
just drill down
yeah.
on the inanimate objects you can see.
That's what I like. I actually, you know, today I've been struggling with inanimate objects. We talked about it backstage. So maybe that's
It's so nice that you're being honest with the audience about
I
the
know.
fact.
I had
Natasha
to
told me
listen to
backstage-
Marvin Gaye to get back in the zone before I
You
came
were
out
worried
here.
there were going to be props out here because you were certain you'd drop them.
Yes. and but as soon as I told you, I felt a sense of relief of now that probably won't happen.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of conversations people should be having.
Yes, there was value to that.
Yeah.
I have a lot more to ask you about your wonderful show. We will be right back with the one, the only Natasha Lyonne.